Again, it's a story based in our past, in South Africa's past in apartheid, but it's not an apartheid story. Um, Often we get tired of these stories, but it's nice to hear that there were human beings that endured the struggle. Hi, I'm Kevin Narain, and I'm an actor. I play the role of Prisoner 2 in the story Stripped. It's something I wanted to be a part of because I could relate to the story in many ways. First and foremost, it's a beautiful story about someone overcoming their struggles in a world that didn't accept them and being brave enough to conquer many challenges. But also, for me, I am a gay man and I haven't done many roles that spoke to me as a gay person. So this was a great opportunity to take on something and tell this story. Again, it's a story based in our past, in South Africa's past in apartheid, but it's not an apartheid story. Often we get tired of these stories, but it's nice to hear that there were human beings that endured the struggle, and their inner turmoil with it, their experience of it, that wasn't necessarily always political. I still feel in many ways like a prisoner, and I think many people do. I initially auditioned for this not as the prisoner, but I auditioned for the lead role, not knowing even which character I could be, but I just wanted to be a part of it because the story of someone fighting a system just by not putting on a uniform or clothing is remarkable. How does someone do that? How brave you must be to stand up for yourself, and what that would mean in a world that he was literally in prison. And it could have been worse for him. It might have been worse for many others, and I can't imagine what more stories he had to endure, what more struggles with him. But that alone is powerful, and I question, in my world, as small as it might seem to myself, I don't know, maybe other people might see it differently, but I deal with struggles, and am I brave enough to deal with it the way this person is? Am I brave enough to stand up for myself? For many years I was in the closet. I didn't speak up for myself. I conformed so much to hide a side of me. And it put me in depression. It put me in unhealthy situations. I didn't have proper relationships with friends and family and even lovers. All because I was suppressing a side of myself. Why this story is important is because it teaches you it's not easy to stand up, to speak to that side of you, that whisper that screams at you and says, you're not this, you're different, you are unique, you're special, you are bigger than what everyone else thinks of you. And then, yeah, so it's not easy, especially when it comes to friends and family. I think the hardest thing for me as a gay person was coming out to my family, where officially I actually didn't. People knew, always society knows, but you are so afraid because of the judgment and this thing. And then there's also things like religion and cultures and beliefs, where I am religious, and I have a strong relationship with God, but we know what is said about being different, and the fear of being condemned and disowned. So this character, what he goes through, your own family disowning you, you being outcasted from society, thrown into a literal prison in such harsh conditions for who knows how long. I cannot imagine how breaking that must be. I thought this was a beautiful story. My character, the prisoner, is not a small character. I think of the story in the Bible where the two other men that were, sorry, I can't think, but the two other guys on the cross next to Christ. And here we are, two other prisoners in the same cell. And what that means, that their story is still important, you know. we're all considered bad in society, and Christ then looks to these two people and says, "You're forgiven." And they help him, they keep him company, we keep this guy company, and we acknowledge we're not perfect. We're in this place together because somewhere someone didn't approve of us. The bigger picture there is we are. And years later, the story is being told by the person who endured it, the real life human being. And how amazing is that, that years later you never know, that your story might be told and it might inspire others. It might be a beautiful lesson, a beautiful reminder of how resilient you are. You know, I am very happy to be a part of this and very excited. So I hope it's going to be wonderful and you learn from it the way I have and see it in a great way. So thank you.